If you have been working on creating new habits, if you have been working on creating change in your life, but maybe you are at a place where you are realizing that it doesn't feel good. It feels like a little forced, the change that you're creating. And things are just not making sense. Maybe you're feeling a little stressed out. Maybe you're feeling a little anxious. Maybe you are right in it, in the process of creating this new habit. And yeah, you're just not feeling good about it. And you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And let me tell you that I am more than happy, more than excited to be at a place in my life where I have changed and I have created a lot of new and wonderful habits in my life. And I've been able to enjoy the process, and it still I want to say in a good way, frustrates me a little bit seeing other friends, other people trying to create change in their lives and getting stuck in the same part. So that's why I was inspired to create this video and just to share what has worked for me, not only for me, for the people I have learned and for many other people. So you can start applying that from now and start flowing and enjoying your process of creating new habits and creating change in your life, becoming the new person, the new identity you want to be. In case you are a little bit into astrology, it's September 2025 and we are right in the middle of the eclipse season, and it's a beautiful time to be aware of those things, even if you are not actively creating change in right now in your life. It's a wonderful time to be curious about what is it that that thing that I've been wanting to change, to implement in my life. um, because yes, from the astrological perspective, there's a lot of support right now to create those changes. So I just want to make it easier for you, for everyone that is riding that process, because it's a beautiful process, but it can be challenging. So let's welcome back, by the way, to another video. Welcome back to my channel. In case you don't know me, this is the first time. If this is the first time that you see me, my name is Melissa, and I'm very happy that you're here. Let's break down the way we usually create change and the way I have created change, so you can start applying these things from now on and enjoy your life and the process of creating change. The way most people start working on changing things in their lives, creating new habits, the one thing that I see and the one thing that frustrates me a little bit to see that still a lot of people do, is that we start the process by saying, I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be eating like a pig. I don't want to be drinking like, I don't know, something extreme, dramatic. I don't want to be consuming substances, whatever it is. That process of selecting the thing that we don't want or the one that we want, I see there's a lot of rejection in that first step. And that's when things start being very wrong. Because what happens is that we create a lot of resistance through the process of creating that new change, that new habit. And this is gonna be like probably too simple. I'm laughing because I'm just like, this video is not gonna be like an hour video. It's gonna be very short, and you're gonna smile probably when you hear what can totally shift that process, how available it is for everyone, and how powerful it is. So that's what I see most people do. I am an alcoholic. I am, an addict. We all have different kind of addictions, but let's say you are into smoking too much weed or whatever it is. We all have different judgments. There's a lot of people having fun enjoying the sunny day in San Francisco, so forgive me if there's a lot of noise in the background. So the invitation, the way I have done it, and the way I would love you to feel into, in case you feel like also can help you, I'm 100% sure, but I always invite people to just listen to me and see if they resonate with what I'm sharing and create their own version of doing things. So it is by first accepting the reality. Um, it is as simple as that, and it is as powerful as that. In the moment we select, we choose that thing that we want to create, or we want to change, or we want to let go. In that moment, bring a lot of acceptance for that thing. Because what that acceptance allows you to do, opposite to rejecting, to judging, is that it creates a space. Energetically, it creates a space. You are not in. When we are rejecting, we are creating a lot of tension. We just hate it. We feel uncomfortable. We feel shame. Like, it's just sit for a second with those two energies. When you reject, when you judge something, it's just like you just don't want it. It's just like maybe some anger, and like it can create many different emotions for. It can be a little different for everyone, but yeah, it's just like activated and charged. But when we feel into the energy of acceptance, it's expansive. We relax, we create a space. And the beautiful thing that happens is that in that space, in that acceptance, we get curious. We start exploring that behavior. We start exploring, let's say, I'm gonna give you a very specific example. For example, someone that has been drinking, someone that thinks of themselves as an alcoholic. So if we sit with the energy of, oh my God, I'm a drunk and I'm just a disaster, and it's so many years and I have done so many crazy things. In that place of judgment and rejection for who you are, who you have been, there's gonna be very little space for ideas of how you can transform that. Because that's what we do when we create change and we create new habits. So using that same example, if you sit with the energy of acceptance, like, okay, I've been maybe a little bit impulsive. I like to have fun a little too much. That's beautiful. It's way more expansive when we stop judging. Like, okay, I have been this way. Maybe you start getting curious. I have been this way because maybe all my friends have been this way. Maybe because family members have been this way. Maybe because everything I have seen around in my life has been that way. So how else I was going to learn something different? We start having a lot of compassion. With that curiosity, we start realizing, okay, maybe it's not about being an alcoholic. Maybe it's about, I want to say that the first energy that is coming to my mind, maybe sorry that I forgot the word. I see some impulsiveness, maybe not thinking through what you want to do that much, just being spontaneous, right? Just jumping into things. Just, let's do that, let's drink, and enjoying so much, and maybe not having, I'm forgetting the word. Geez. When you cannot control your actions. And if you think about that, it's like when you look at children, that's the most common thing. Give a kid a cake. Most kids will eat their full cake. It is normal. So maybe at some point in your life, Jesus, if you know what the word that I'm trying to remember, please comment below. But yeah, it's not in my mind. Maybe this person that has been an alcoholic has had experiences where they didn't have the opportunity to develop that skill of saying, okay, it's enough cake, it's enough of this. Maybe they're a little disconnected from their souls. Maybe they haven't been listening to their souls. Maybe there's a lack of self-love. And if we go into that space, again, it's something that it's a different process for each person. It has to do with a lot with what we are exposed to? What are the people we surround ourselves with? Do we hang out with people that love themselves so much, or maybe we hang out with people that don't love themselves that much? If we don't have, those kind of behaviors around us, it's going to be or we are not, if maybe the experiences that we have in life don't take us in that direction, it's just hard that people get into those places. So again, like, I'm just trying to give you an example of how we can work with the two energies and how different it is. I'm just like making stuff up here, but I'm sure you're getting the point, of being compassionate of where this might come from, and not judge it, just accept it as what has been until up to now. That doesn't mean that it cannot be different, especially if you feel like you already have that GPS, that inner guidance, inner voice that is telling you, okay, I'm tired of being hangover. I'm tired of being on an emotional state where I'm not able to handle, I don't know, passive conversations, or I'm just tired and that's not allowing me to exercise, to do my best at work. Alcohol is the most common thing, but I want to say, in my case right now, the one change, the one habit that I'm working on, it's a mix of habits. My routine, it's a little off because I moved into a new place. So I think I had a couple of weeks where I was just kind of going with the flow, and I started being on my phone so much, eating sugar, desserts, chocolates, and all the things that I love so much, too much, I know always when it's just like I'm going a little too far with the things that I'm doing. So I'm having been meditating, so my mind has been very active. So the things that I'm implementing right now, the things that I'm working on, is including meditation in my morning routine, being less time on my phone, and eating less desserts. But then in that process, when I decided, okay, these are the new habits that I want to implement in my life, I sat with a lot of compassion. Okay, I moved into a new place. There's a lot of things going on, including the eclipse. I've been a little anxious. I've been wanting to cope with other things, fun, chocolates, and sleeping in. Also, because when I move into a new place, it always takes me a little bit until I can fully sleep through the night. So with that compassion and acceptance of that's where I am, I start having ideas. I just don't see, and I don't think it's possible when we are in so much rejection, wanting to fix. Fix is a totally different energy than creating change. Fixing is, I am wrong and I need to repair this, like I'm broken and I need to put together these two parts of, what I mean. Then creating change is like, well, I just cut my hair, for example. It was a little too long. I want something different. I want to feel a little different. Just very flowing, expansive energy, more inviting. So I think the message is there. I think you guys now have the two different ways how we can create change, and you can just try it out, and from what I said, as I always share in my videos, you can, whatever resonates, whatever lands for you, you can just create your own version of how to work in creating change and new habits. I just know from my own experience that this way works very well. You get to enjoy it. You get to, one more important, beautiful thing that happens is that in the moment we get into that space of acceptance, this is what we got. This is who I am. This is where I am. And yeah, this is where I would like to go. There's a level of vulnerability and authenticity. So when we get to share with other people, it's totally different when we are like, I'm going to start a new diet. And there's that judgment, it's like it's rigid, and people right away have this reaction like, well, now she wants to be a model. She wants to be, I don't know, you know, people feel the energy. Then when you come and you are like, oh my god, I am realizing that, yeah, I've been having this way of relating to food, to my body. That vulnerability, it's just, it's very unique for each person, how we feel and how what we are experiencing. So that vulnerability makes us way more authentic. And the beautiful thing is that with us even trying, when we share from that place of vulnerability, of authenticity with others, others might relate to what we are describing. They might have been going, or they might have been wanting to create a similar change, but only because we are sharing and we are being from that energy of acceptance, authenticity, and vulnerability, is how others can see it, connect with what we are experiencing, and so they get inspired. So that's the beauty, that's the power of creating change, creating habits in our lives from a place of acceptance, and from that place of being authentic to who we are, to the nature we, each of us, we are also different. So that's all for today. I hope you guys feel inspired. I would love to hear if you apply this, if you start creating some change in your life. Even if you don't start yet creating change in your life, I would like to hear how you feel about what I shared. Do you resonate? What do you feel? This maybe you have been doing a creating change in a similar way. So I would like to learn from you. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for watching. Until my next video, so much peace and love.